everybody. It is Monday. How are we doing tonight? Happy Monday to you. Tell me about your Monday, folks. What is happening in your world? What's making your Indigenous People Day great? Who's with us tonight? Who's live? And it is, hey Kitty, how are you? Barb, great to have you here. Pleasure to have you ladies. What's happening in your worlds? What are you grateful for this Monday night? On Monday night, what are we grateful for? Tell me about it. It is Columbus Day in some parts of this country, Indigenous People Day in other parts, and We're Together Day here. So let's just be together. The night before Prime Eve. Another good day. Yeah, it was a strong day. You know, it really was. It was a strong day. I'm happy for that. You know, I'm always happy when those Jewish Christmas bells are ringing. That cash register is ding-a-ling-in. I'm okay. I like that. Those are sounds that I like. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Good to have you with us. Tell us about your Monday, Jennifer. How are things in your world? What are you grateful for this Monday? You can tell I'm still working, so you can tell that. You can tell where I'm at. But I wanted to hop on here because I had a couple things to cover with you guys that I didn't want to leave out. Oh, that sounds lovely, Rose. So far, so good. I like the idea of food, Jennifer. Oh, Rose, that sounds great. The Blue Ridge Mountains are lovely. I'm jealous. Hashtag jealous of Rose tonight. You're in the Blue Ridge Mountains. My credit card's in Orlando. It's all good. Hey, Patty, how are you? Hey, Kelly. I'm told it's beautiful in Orlando, and it's World Food and Wine Festival Day at Epcot or something. I don't know. But it's all good. Hey, so we got Patty with us now. Great to have you with us, Patty Johnson. And Kelly from Albuquerque joined us live here tonight. It's great to have you all here. Well, I'm going to talk about the simpler version tonight, Kitty. That's what I'm talking about. I have that, and I'm going to talk about that because it's ultimately not that simpler. And really, they're not processing them, so that's yet another hiccup, but we'll talk about all that. Hey, Kim, how are you? Great to have you here. So, let me get started, I guess. Let's get started. Look what I brought with me tonight. I knew I was going to be here tonight, so I was able to grab this. When I went home and let the dog out, I grabbed this and said, I knew I'm going to be here tonight, and I grabbed the real book tonight. So you don't get the warehouse repeat of the page that I only have a copy of in the warehouse. But we start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start the program. And let's see where we're going tonight. Excuse me. Well, this is nice. Start a new week. Good morning. Woke up. We are on page 104 and 105 tonight if you're following along. 104 and 105. Good morning. Woke up grateful for the air in my lungs, the sleep in my eyes, the ache in my bones, and the chance to say hello again. I'm not going to our good night. I got a little too excited there. Yeah, you got me too excited. Although I found out today, or late last night, that whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation from somebody. And I learned last night that, for those of you that watched The West Wing, they're doing the West Wing Not Reunion show on HBO Max next week, which is really partially a get out the vote thing and civility and everything else. And Lin-Manuel Miranda's going to be in it, which is kind of cool. But they happened to film it at my nephew's wife's father's theater. How's that? 6 degrees of separation. And so Lin-Manuel Miranda was in my nephew's in-laws theater filming the thing for the West Wing. So that's kind of cool, although, I don't have him on here reading our book, but I found that useless 6 degrees of separation thing kind of cool last night when I learned that. And his in-laws are really nice. I got a couple things that I want to cover. I really wanted to get on to talk about the PPP thing. And Prime. Hang on one second here. Those are the two things I got to cover tonight. Gotta. So let me find that, because other stuff I can cover another night. Okay. That's these two things. And that's a good quote, so we'll use that too. All right, here, folks. Let's do it. Everybody's jumping. Tomorrow is Prime Day, so everybody is jumping on the Prime bandwagon. What are you doing? How are you primarily getting involved in this? What are you doing for your customers to remind them about you and your existence? Okay? Everybody's doing something, and really this is the kickoff for Black Friday. So this is the kickoff of the holiday shopping season. Everybody is using this to go gangbusters with their best sales of the season and really kick it forward. JCPenney Kohl's are the latest to join it, which is Tuesday and Wednesday this week. JCPenney launched an event that runs through Wednesday, allowing to jumpstart their holiday purchase. Kohl's was less specific, but says deals that start this week will continue through December. And the store also emphasized a safe and convenient shopping experience, both online and in-store. So customers can shop with confidence this holiday season. Other retailers that are doing it, Walmart, Target, and Best Buy, have already announced their promotion during the same days as Amazon sale. When Prime was a midsummer event, consumers turned to it in July for holiday shopping. This season, they're more prepared than ever to turn to the sale. Last year, just one of the two Prime days placed third behind Black Friday and Cyber Monday in the top 3 shopping days of the year. It's about prices. 20% picked Black Friday as the time to get the best deals possible, but 18% said Prime Day. And with the COVID outbreak still under control, not under control, retailers are hoping to get the holiday shopping going earlier in order to space out indoor shopping and ensure that online orders are fulfilled in time. And Prime Day is part of that. So, you need that as part of this. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, great to have you here. So, this is what that's about. And so connecting with your customers in some way to let them know what great values and how important it is to shop local this holiday season is just as important. You got to keep in mind, the other thing to keep in mind is when people spend their holiday budget, it's gone. So if you said you're going to spend $500 or $1,000 or $100 on the holidays, when that's gone, it's gone. So the earlier you get a piece of it, okay, the better. And with everybody moving it up this year, okay, and the holidays moving up, it's really important that you try to take advantage of anything you can earlier. Because we don't know, again, I can't predict. I don't have that crystal ball that's going to predict what shopping is going to be like in December, what people are going to feel like then. You know, we have to go with what they're feeling now, and when they're willing to open their wallets now, we have to be there to take that in whatever way that is. So just keep that in mind. Keep that as part of your thought process and your plan as part of this. So that's why what other retailers are doing for Prime Day matters so much, okay? Because they get it, and they're the big guys, okay? So take it out of their playbook. Take it out of their playbook, okay? It applies just as much locally as it does nationally and to the big guys. Because people want to, if they can spend locally, they do. If they can spend with you, they do. But these guys are bombarding them, so keep that in mind. That is an important fact. I love this quote. Normal is what the majority does, which is why different is so much more interesting. Normal is what the majority does, which is why different is so much more interesting. Okay, it's sort of a quote out of the Dave Ramsey playbook, but, it applies to so many things. So don't be normal. Don't be normal. I say that all the time. That's why I say don't worry about what everybody else is doing or how they're doing it or what their sales are or how much per transaction they're doing versus what you're doing. Worry about you. Okay? Worry about you. And we're going to get to the other side. So the other piece of news, and I have copies of it going up to the NARTS Facebook page within the hour, okay, is the new PPP form, which they're calling 3508S. Okay, the 3508S form. That is such a government name. Well, I would go with interesting. I wouldn't call you weird, Kelly. I wouldn't call it weird. I would call it interesting. I would say, I think of the way that people use normal and following the leader and everything else, but setting your own path, okay, is not considered normal. Writing your own place is not considered normal, but you can do it. So, let's go with it. Normal is what the majority does, which is why different is more interesting. Okay, so this government form, 3508S, who can use it? Who can use the PPP loan forgiveness form, 3508S, that is in the news today? It is for loan borrowers. If your loan for your PPP was $50,000 or less, you can use form 3508S, which looks simple. It's a nice form, front and back. Okay, front and back. It's only got 3 pages of instructions. So that sounds simpler. So what's the real deal, and why is it really a good form? And the answer is, it's better than the EZ form if you have a PPP of less than $50,000. So yes, it's less than it's slightly easier than the EZ form. And here's where it matters versus the EZ form. Okay, basically, there's no penalties for, there's no deductions for it for people not returning, or reducing salaries, reducing the number of employees, it removes any reduction in forgiveness. Any potential reduction in forgiveness is taken away from it, is why this 3508S form, okay, is a better form than the EZ form. where it's really not what business groups and myself are looking for from the Treasury and the government, is you still have to provide all the backup, all the payroll records, your tax records from your payroll filings, your receipts, all the paperwork that you have to do for this, okay, to prove it on the EZ form, you still have to do. And that's what the business groups are looking for, is they're looking for people not to have to do that. And the banks are looking for not having to verify that paperwork. So nobody wants to touch that pile of paperwork. Nobody wants you to do it in the first place. And none of the business groups, and all the business groups are advocating for it because it takes a lot of time. And it's going to take a lot of time for the banks to review it all. And they're on the hook for that too. So everybody wants that. That's what they're looking for in a streamlined forgiveness application. They're looking for what this asks for you to attest to, but they're looking for it without all of the paperwork that they're asking for. And there is still generally good accepted hope that that's what's going to happen. That the government is going to eventually, probably after the election, but before the end of the year, come out with that and pass that through Congress. That's the expectation. We don't know what this government or the next, whatever government we have after this is going to do, but that is the expectation. But this isn't really, it's being advertised as so much simpler, and it's really not. The only thing that you're avoiding is the head count stuff with this form. And you still have to do all the paperwork. So, not that much simpler. I am posting it so that you're aware of it. I'm still holding off. Nice, Kitty. Yeah, a lot of small banks are going to do what they can to help with this. But a lot of them are still not, even the ones that are starting to accept the PPP forgiveness applications, are not actually processing them. And if they send them in to the SBA is not actually processing them. The SBA is actually processing still the big loan applications of the ones that they're doing, because they are still banking on that this is going to change, and the SBA doesn't want all the paperwork from all this. So nobody wants the paperwork. Nobody. Okay? And quite honestly, to get the loan in the first place, you had to do under pains and penalties of perjury. Put this all together. Yes, you can still wait till your bank asks you for it. And most banks are not asking for it yet. Most banks are not even opening their portals or doing anything for it yet. Because there is still the expectation that Congress will eventually do something. They will eventually, when their back is against the wall, do the right thing. Okay? They eventually do the right thing. So, that is still the expectation. But it is disappointing. But you can wait, and you don't have to rush. The worst that could happen, and they've actually delayed that. I have other language where they're delaying the payment. The timetable for when you'd have to make your first payment. They've delayed all that. I forget what the date is, but it's delayed. And so, ultimately, this is headed in the right direction. It's just so piecemeal and haphazard the way they're doing it. It's just sad, okay? Where, like you look at what Canada did with this, and they did a great job, okay? They did an absolutely phenomenal job in how they handled their wage subsidy program. So there's just a lot of... It's just raw, and the way this is being portrayed in the news is leaving out the details. It's like, oh, it's so easy now if you have a loan under $50,000, and it's not. It's not that much easy. It saves you the head count calculation, and it saves you the reduction in forgiveness if you had a head count or salary change as part of it. So, ultimately not really saving you anything, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. And, so hopeful that this is just the starting point. And I am optimistic and hopeful. I remain forever hopeful. is where I am. Even with the morons in Congress, the do-nothing Congress, they're doing theater right now. They're pushing things back and forth and blaming each other, and they're doing it all for theater for the election, is what I'm being told at this point. But, today was a working day in Washington, but not a working day with the holiday. So, as the days go on this week, I'm sure I will hear more. But that is what this form says. So it will go over to the NARTS private Facebook page within the hour, and then over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. Over at narts.org/resalestrong is where you can find all the resources we do here. All the files that we talk about, like the PPP forgiveness forms, all the different versions of them, the EZ, the long form, and the now 3508S form. With their corresponding instructions will all be there. This video, and easily organizes right there, including the link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, follow, ring that bell so that you can follow it and get alerted anytime a new video drops there. It keeps you all organized, but it's also there so you can share it with everybody you know in business, so we can help everybody get to the other side of this. We want to help every business, everybody, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, get to the other side of this. We're going to help everybody do it, but they got to know where to find it. And narts.org/resalestrong is where we send them. I am here every night at more 8 than ish. More 8 than ish, even when I'm working late. I'm here more 8 than ish. Live in the NARTS private Facebook group, bringing you up to date on what's happening and the latest information that I have available. If you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. Neil at ECIstores.com is where you find me. We start this program every night, with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start it. 6 degrees of separation from Lin-Manuel. I counted it out tonight, my 6 degrees, which I think was actually only 5 degrees of separation from me and Lin-Manuel. I thought that was pretty cool. Page 104 is where we started tonight. Our good morning, if you were not here at the top of the program, was good morning. Woke up, grateful for the air in my lungs, the sleep in my eyes, the ache in my bones, the chance to say hello again. Our good night tonight is good night. Lying down, grateful for the air in my lungs, the sleep in my eyes, the ache in my bones, and the chance to see you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, birthday month when I'm on set. We're all up for a good party, and we're going to have an amazing time, and we will party again in person. I can promise you that. I do. But until tomorrow, know that you, and especially you, Rose, resting your bones up there in the Blue Ridge Mountains, you're not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a great night.